The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys? Yeah! Go Cowboys! Let's go, baby!
Are you ready for a break?
Yes.
Are you ready for a break?
Absolutely.
Ready for a break?
Yeah, and so much for that.
It's time for The Break on DallasCowboys.com
We were on the break!
with Ambar Garcia, Bryan Broaddus, Nick Harris, and Derek Eagleton.
It is Friday, November 8th, 2024, Season 20, Episode number 65. Welcome to the latest edition of The Break, live from SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. We are presented by LG. LG is the world's #1 OLED TV brand for 11 years and counting. CY at LG.com/OLED Evo. How's everybody doing this morning?
Excellent.
You good? All right.
Yeah.
We got a lot to talk about. Cowboys versus Eagles. We'll wrap that whole conversation up and get you guys ready for the matchup this weekend. We'll have some injury updates here in just a few moments as well. We got a little Yeti time with AG. That'll happen in our second segment, and we'll see where the show goes. If we have time and Amber doesn't talk too much, we will get to maybe some questions from you guys. I already have a couple that have rolled in on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it, and so maybe we'll get to some of those in the final segment. What's up, Brian?
No, I had a question real quick.
Sure.
Is it okay to start looking at draft film?
For you, yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Jump
You're free
in.
to do whatever you want.
I just wondered because I think people kind of are getting in that mode, but I've had people like, listen, the season ain't over. So I just kind of wondered what you guys thought about that.
Well, here's the deal.
Because I've already looked at 5 guys.
I look at it two different ways. Number one, I don't think necessarily like the break is not about to become the draft show
Right
now.
Yeah.
We're gonna play this thing out because that's
Sure.
what we do. We're gonna talk about it every week.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean that I don't want the folks that are going to be on the draft show to not be working on draft show stuff, because
If you change your mind, let me know.
that may come a little faster than we think from the standpoint of when we get that show cranked up.
Right.
But so yeah, it's two different things. Absolutely, go ahead and start watching
Okay.
it. But we're not going to turn the break into the draft.
No,
show.
like I say, I usually start on December 1st, and here I am starting on November 7th.
No, they're honestly like, here's the thing.
I feel bad for the people that are still fighting in the season. You know, they still feel like, hey, man, wait till the last game. And I respect that. I respect that. But I also see in my reality where I think this thing might go.
Yeah, but here's the thing, and I've learned this over the years, and it's how I approach sports now. It's not just with the Cowboys; it's also with the Longhorns for me.
Oh, sure.
I look at sports as sports is my entertainment, and I refuse to let it become my consternation. I refuse to let it become my problem, right? And so that means every game, I'm just watching to see if I can enjoy something out of that game. That's it. It's nothing more, nothing less, because that's the healthy way for me to be able to consume sports, because I've been in a place where I wasn't healthy,
Man.
and it ain't good for me or my family for me to be
You're in the
that
SEC
dude.
now.
I know, but I can't.
Every
I can't-
weekend is going to be a
Yes, and by the way, that's the way I look at it. Is
Yeah.
that weekend is isolated to that weekend. I'm not letting myself look forward, back,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm going to enjoy that weekend for that weekend. If we win, great. If we don't, on to the next one. Like
Okay.
I can't live in that world of being too down about whatever is
I got you.
going wrong. You
I
know?
just think there's a lot of fans out there that are still holding hope, and I don't want to kill any hope. But I'm trying to also get ready for something that might be really, really major this spring. You know, when you start to talk about where this team needs to go and stuff. So I apologize if all of a sudden draft talk breaks out on other platforms I'm on, but here we are. You know.
Well, either way, there's if the season, let's say the season does turn around.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, that's a good thing.
Then we're ahead
Let's
of the
say
draft.
it doesn't. Let's say it doesn't. If it doesn't, then that means you probably get a pretty good draft pick.
No, that's what I'm saying,
So
yeah.
then it does have some intrigue of, okay, you're up there closer to the top of the draft. How
Yeah.
do you get what kind of player can you really get that changes things, right?
I think with the Dak injury, I think that's where people might have flipped.
Yeah.
You know, it reminds
I
me very reminiscent of when we dealt with the Romo injury against Carolina on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
I just remember looking at David Hellman and him at me, and he goes, "We got to start working on the draft now. We can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be okay here." You know, and so I kind of when your quarterback gets knocked out like that, and listening to the owner general manager talk on the radio today, they're still kind of debating on, he wants to play. Is it going to be surgeries or no surgery? And then see, there's just so much of that. There's just no real cut and dry thing. There's so many things still in the air. And it makes you kind of like your season, you feel like, is kind of in the air that way as well.
Well, you see, even though I can see the clear path of it just continuing going downhill based on what we've seen this first half of the season,
sure,
and especially after Dak getting hurt, part of me, and the dreamer part of me, it still comes up with, well, you never know. Let's wait until this weekend and see how like Cooper Rush looks. And we talked about it. It's more, the offensive linemen, those are the guys you're still working with. So that's not going to change for right now. But at the same time, I'm like, there's so many things that have occurred in the past that you didn't expect it to happen. And then it happened. You have so many different areas working against you currently. But at the same time, part of me is just like, You never know. The play calling might change based on you having to adjust with the quarterbacks that you're having to work with, and that could potentially somehow become positive. I don't know. I just keep going back and forth. But that I should learn my lesson though, because
no. See, the thing about it is, I think the one thing that is not the same as when Cooper Rush was quarterbacking is the defense. And you said the offensive line.
Yeah.
I know you'll say offensive line.
Yeah.
The defense
kept them alive.
Kept you alive in those games. It kept you. It made the games where it wasn't always on Cooper Rush. It was like, hey, somehow we're going to hold this thing to 17. Find a way to get 3 touchdowns here.
Can
now
Micah,
you're about to get Micah
provide
back.
that's what I'm saying. Can Micah provide that for you?
What do you think there, boss?
Yeah, I think you can, certainly, especially with the left tackle hole that they have, the Eagles have. Are we talking about this weekend specifically?
Yeah, I'm talking about like this week. Look, a part of this and what the whole conversation, what we just said, I think revolves, as Amber even mentioned, kind of revolves around what happens this weekend, right? If they go out and they lose this weekend, then I think there are going to be a lot of people are going to be like, okay, well, there's not really much. It's hard to find the hope at that point, right?
Right.
If they go out and they play well and they win, now then the hope changes to, well, you got Micah back and Cooper Rush is playing. I would assume if they win, he's playing somewhat well.
You still have a bunch of division games.
Yeah, there's all those things that still keep hope there, keep hope alive, right? So, look, sports fandom is like Christmas, right? It's the anticipation. It's the excitement of the hope that maybe I'm going to get that thing I really, really want, right?
Brian's not buying it.
No, but by the way, that's right or wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that I think for a lot of fans, that's what sports is. It's like, that's why every year, the beginning of the season, I don't care how good or bad your team is projected to be, you're like, there's always that chance that magic strikes and we are in the Super Bowl, right?
10 weeks ago.
Slow down.
No, I'm saying that's
slow
fandom,
down a little
right?
bit there.
That's fandom.
10 weeks ago, we were in Oxnard with hope.
Yeah.
Now take it forward 10 weeks. Man, this ended quick.
Yeah.
What is life without hope?
Nah, I get it.
I think to your point, I think sports fandom.
I hope
is
I
more
never
like,
bring the subject up again.
I think sports fandom is more like.
You weren't expecting this whole thing to go like this.
Bunch of bleeding hearts.
I know, right?
I think sports fandom is more like Christmas Eve because you have the hope, whereas like the fandom itself can sometimes feel like Day of the Dead. Like it's not necessarily Christmas Day.
Yeah.
I had to come back on that thought because I was like, I don't know. I've been a lot happier on instances of Christmas than I have been on sports fandom. So.
Yeah. Well, I just didn't know. I didn't know because I kind of feel like our fan base is split on this right now.
I agree.
I think they really are. I think they want to.
Too.
I think half the fan base wants to believe that Cooper Rush and this defense and the offensive line and the running game is going to get going, and then the play caller is going to be back on track. That's our hope right now. And then you got me, who's like went through those 5-11 seasons.
Yeah,
I've seen it, so I kind of understand it. And I'm not trying to big time anybody here, but you just don't. Like I say, there's just too many signs. There's just too many signs that the way things are going, that and especially losing your quarterback. That's never a good thing to have to deal with.
That's always the one that can just take the wind out of your
That's
sails.
the one that got me.
Yeah.
That's the one that got me. That, that maybe you were going to kind of figure out some things and, and if it was a loss against Philadelphia. I hate the Eagles more than anything. I really do.
Doubt.
And so I dread what's about to happen.
Even as a former employee? It's not
Eagles?
Another NFC East team?
They got rid of me.
Fair. That's
They didn't.
That's enough.
They did.
I got nothing for that.
Right.
They
That's enough.
didn't even let us have a chance.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, I introduced him to Andy Reid, and then Andy Reid was there for 14 years as a coach, just beating up on everybody in the NFC East.
So we
didn't
got
even
you to
get
blame for that.
Well, yeah, didn't even get a chance. I mean, Andy and our neighbors in Green Bay, Jeff Lurie, Joe Banner, they didn't know who Andy Reid was. And they're like, hey, well, there's this guy in Green Bay you might want to consider. Well, we get let go. What do they do? Next year they hire Andy Reid. They didn't know Andy Reid, who he was. So to me, there's a side of me that I'm pissed that we didn't get to finish this thing off, with the draft and all the things that we were able to do to kind of turn it around. And, Andy benefited from it. Andy's a damn good coach. We're seeing it today.
No doubt.
So, Mr. Lurie, I'm upset with you, sir.
I opened up a can of worms there.
His wife is super nice, by the way. Ex-wife, excuse me.
Real quick, I did have another topic I wanted to hit on that Jerry brought up on his call this morning on 105.3 The Fan. He was talking about Jonathan Mingo and said he's a Dak-friendly wide receiver. Says he'll be involved in the
Dusted that
offense.
one off.
Yeah, right. Says he'd be involved in the offense sooner rather than later. What would you guys, in looking at the film of him and knowing what you know about him, what do you think Jerry means when he says he's a Dak-friendly receiver?
I was trying to think in my head, and Brian, you could probably have a better feel for it here. So I was thinking size and how it translates to getting him the ball quick.
Yeah.
Because this offense, and Jerry Jones has talked about many times, Mike McCarthy, about if Dak can operate under that 2.3 window, then he is at his best. And so if he can get a weapon like a Mingo, who's a little bit more physical, who can create separation in less than 2.3 seconds, then maybe he sees that as a Dak-friendly receiver. That's just me theorizing, though. I don't necessarily have the full remedy of what he's trying to say.
No, I think I think you went down the right path there. I think he's looking for a big body guy that throws the ball short and all of a sudden it's run after catch. That's kind of his strength. What's this offense kind of become? Last week it was throw everything short and then run after catch.
Yeah.
So a little bit too much of that going on for my taking. But that's where I think that I think you've nailed this thing.
Aside from the Dak point, I was thinking about this last night, just kind of going through what Mingo has done over the course of his career. If there's an opportunity for Trey Lance and Jonathan Mingo to run a read option, y'all might hear me clap in the press box. Like I might get kicked out of the press box because that is the creativity we're looking for, especially here down the stretch. Like figure out what you got in Trey Lance and figure out what you got in Jonathan Mingo.
Your running game ain't
great way to
working,
do it
then.
at once.
I
I think it could be. I think it could be a lot of fun if those two line up.
Is that your hope?
That's where he's hoping. Yeah.
Is that your hope?
It's not Christmas Eve. It's November 7th for me, or November 8th for sure.
That's all Fool's Day is what that is.
It's April 1st. You're 100% right.
I've heard this question before. I'd love to know y'all's thoughts on this. Do you think the trade for Jonathan Mingo is an indictment on Tolbert or Brooks or even Turpin, or maybe none of the above? It's more just he's just a different kind of receiver.
This organization will do one thing. There's something really consistent throughout this organization. They will trade for a wide receiver in a heartbeat. This owner's always done that. I mean, when I worked for him, with going back to Joey Galloway, Roy Williams, Maury Cooper, he will always try and go get a wide receiver. So no, it doesn't surprise me, shock me, any of that. And
it's not about those other guys.
Now, me personally, I think it's something that they. To me, I still like Tolbert better than this kid.
I do too.
I really do. So to me, it's Jerry and them looking at it and thinking long term is what I was saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think they do need a little bit more physicality in that room. I think there is a little bit of an indictment on the Brooks, Turpin, Flanoy part of that room, not necessarily CD and Tolbert. Whereas they need a guy that can be an established physical wide receiver 3. Whereas he has an opportunity to do that the rest of the way.
Well, they moved on from guys like Wilson and Noah Brown and people like that played that role.
Yeah.
So
and I think they tried to force Brooks into that role at times. They tried to force Flanoy into that role at times in the preseason. And even Tolbert, they've given him one-on-one opportunities, and sure, he's come down with a few, but I think they really do need that guy who can just kind of buff his shoulders out a little bit.
You're in a situation where we always talk about this with the metrics, how wide you play. You're asking these guys to do things that are probably, condense the thing, put them in position to make some plays. Don't spread them out there and then maybe not play to their skill sets.
Yeah.
I think to me, the way I see it is, Brendan Cooks, is this his last year?
It is his last year of his contract.
Of his contract. So we know wide receiver, that's an area where you very much need it. But at the same time, and we've talked about the money, when you look at the offseason, you're not going to break the bank on paying a veteran wide receiver to come in here, especially after you just paid CeeDee Lamb. So the way I just see it is nothing against the other wide receivers are currently on the list. It's just more them knowing that they're going to have to draft a wide receiver, but now they used one of their draft picks on somebody that has already had some kind of experience around the league, or being around, practicing and all that stuff. So it puts you just a little bit ahead as far as timeline and development than it would if you were drafting a wide receiver right off the draft.
Can I be honest with you?
Yeah.
I just hate everything you just said.
Okay.
And I hate it from the fact about maybe it'll keep them from drafting somebody. When you sign somebody, like, when you bring somebody in, you trade for somebody.
Yeah.
I think bringing in Zeke kept them from potentially drafting a running back. Sometimes it's that, and
I think it's all.
I don't personally hate you. It's. But
and
you know what I'm
it's
saying.
not that you disagree.
No.
You're saying you hate the thought of that because it will stop.
Because you value draft so high and so much. But the thing is that I think we're forgetting everyone has different perspective and different views and different how you grade different players. So again, from their perspective, maybe this is a player that they highly like and see the talent.
They do.
So they see it differently than the value that you're trying to put in drafting another wide receiver. And I don't think it prevents them from even, crap, you have so many positions of need that it limits you there.
Wrong.
But at the same time, maybe it's just they clearly value him very highly to be able to give up a fourth round.
I need him to play well in these games, though. I need him to play well because what'll happen is, if he
doesn't, then
he'll still be here.
Yeah.
And then there'll be the hopium, there'll be and one day we're going to look back on this season. We're going to look back
the hopium.
We're going to look back on the season and we're going to say, okay, what went wrong? What went wrong with this, And then it's, we misevaluated our own players. We misevaluated. We thought, this guy's going to have his best season. This guy's going to do his season's going to go. There were too many times now where it was, everybody they thought about probably going to have its best season, probably going to make that jump, probably, and then how many people really, really made that jump so far? We haven't seen it. Yeah. The Mozzie Smith, Mozzie, he's going to make that jump. Well, he hasn't, But to me, this is where, like I say, the running backs, I use the running back situation. Zeke is going, we got Zeke ace in the hole, Zeke ace in the hole. Maybe we don't have to look at every one of these running backs that he and I talked about in the 4th, 5th round have come on and played well for teams. Mm-hmm. They're thinking like, well, we've already got Zeke. We've got Rico Dowdle. We've already got, please don't be where, man, we've got Mingo. Not going to take a look at that receiver because this guy's 6'3". That Mingo's just like him. Please, Mingo, play well. But it's still probably going to happen where he'll be here and maybe it'll keep him from drafting a receiver that might be better.
I don't disagree with you.
You should.
But at the same time, it's like as we sit here and I'm trying to make sense of the decision they made, that's the only reasoning that comes to mind why this happened.
No.
So it is what it is. This is where we're at, and this is what we got to deal with. And none of us make those decisions, and we just got to sit here and talk about it.
No, and you're absolutely right. The thing that just bothers me is that you just sit there and you feel like they put so much on their roster of, that guy's gonna make the jump. That guy's gonna make the jump. That guy's and then they lose depth, and then now they're expecting every one of their players to make a jump.
Yeah.
If I went around the room and asked you guys what players on this team has exceeded your expectations?
Jordan Lewis.
There's
Already
one.
overshown.
There's two.
Yeah, I was going to say
Jalen
Overshown.
Tolbert.
That's pretty much.
There's three.
I don't think Tolbert's necessarily exceeded my expectations. I think he's been kind of what I expected him to be.
Are there 3 or 4 guys then, right?
Yeah,
Carl Lawson.
maybe.
See, that's
But where was the bar, right?
Exactly.
But
Now
see,
we're
that's
really
what I'm
starting
saying.
to barrel scrape.
That's what I'm saying. We didn't go into the season thinking there was going to be
Aubrey.
Aubrey. There you
No,
go.
I always expected that.
Yeah.
Lipke always
But
expected
see,
that.
that's where we're at. That's where we're at. And how many offensive players did you name, by the way? No, I mean, so that's what I'm saying here. They put all their eggs into, man, our cap's not very good right now. We've drafted a lot of guys. They're having to play a lot of young guys because they're hurt. Their team's hurt. That's why. But they were thinking all this about their team. In actuality, their team was right here. That's where to me. And then you make a trade, and it's like maybe keeps you from trying to get the team back up to here because you're like, no, Mingo, we got this Mingo kid. We liked him coming out, and it keeps you from maybe getting a kid from another school that might be a little bit better player.
Well, the difference is they got a shorter timeline on this one. It's not going to be like you would do when you normally. That could be a good and a bad thing, like you do with a normal rookie, where you got 4 years where you got to play that out before they get to that contract. Like they got 2 years to figure this out on this kid before he's going to be a free agent. So they got to figure out something pretty quick as to whether he really is a legitimate player or not.
I got to give this personnel department credit, and I really do respect when people believe in themselves, so much so that even they continue to believe whenever they've been wrong. And with how wrong, at least as it appears so far, this 2023 draft class has been, for them to go right back to that 2023 board and be like, no, we still believe in our evaluation of that guy and Jonathan Mingo. We want to bring him in and spend a 4th-round pick. Yeah. I think that's a very interesting point. This personnel department is still very, dependent on
either that or you have job security. That's another thing.
All right, we're gonna take our first break. When we come back,
Go to break.
We'll go to Yeti time with Ambar Garcia. We'll be back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Don't put off getting your oil changed, Dallas. Take 5 Oil Change, a proud partner of the Cowboys, is faster than you think. They're so fast, you don't even have to get out of your car. You can take advantage of Take 5's stay in your car 10-minute oil change at any of their locations across the Dallas area. And remember, at Take 5, you stay in your car because they're faster than you think. That means you won't even have time to show off your best touchdown celebration. Take 5, the official oil change of the Dallas Cowboys.
From the field to the festivities, Lucchese embodies the essence of luxury and tradition. Handcrafted with meticulous precision, each pair offers unmatched comfort and style. Stand tall while you're tailgating or cheering in the stands with the Dallas Cowboys collection by Lucchese. Shop the collection today at the Lucchese store at the Star in Frisco or online at lucchese.com. Lucchese, the official boot of the Dallas Cowboys and Dallas Cowboys cheerleaders.
Hey y'all, Matt Pittman of Meat Church here. With football season kicking off, I'm already gearing up to bring the smoker back to AT&T Stadium for some epic tailgates. But with that Texas heat, it's crucial to keep my beer hand cramping cold. That's where Yeti's insulated Colster can cooler comes in clutch. This year, you can even get them with the iconic star engraved on the side. Licensed Yeti Cowboys gear is now available at Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. Check it out today. Yeti, official cooler and drinkware of the Dallas Cowboys.
Back to the break.
AT&T, connecting changes everything.
Welcome back. It is the second segment of the break, live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star. It's time for a little Yeti time with Ambar Garcia. What do we have?
Okay, this segment is presented by Yeti. The officially licensed Yeti cowboy gear is now available at AT&T Stadium Pro Shops, concessions, and on Yeti.com. So for this game, it's a little guess who. I'm going to start off with the quote that I'm going to read to you guys. And then if you decide you want a clue, I will hand you one and you read it out loud. And there's like basically 3 clues, but you can only ask for 1 clue.
So we're guessing the player that said this quote. How recent are these?
Let's just say you might lose.
Okay.
That didn't tell me anything. Okay.
So it's more than 2 years.
Okay, first.
Hold on. One more question. Are all these players active?
Let's just get into it.
Okay. Sorry. Lord. I'm trying to frame my mind here.
I don't know. We'll see how this turns out. I don't know. All right. I always said my pads talk. My pads did the talking. I don't have to be rambunctious and talk. I don't have to say anything.
It's Micah Parsons.
No.
It's not? Oh, is that how we're playing? Do I have to guess like that? You
have to guess, but if I have 3 clues, 3 more clues. If you guys want a clue, I will hand it to you.
I certainly need a clue.
Are these? You said it doesn't necessarily have to be current players, or
no.
It doesn't. Okay.
Oh, okay.
DeMarcus Ware?
Yes.
Wow.
How the heck did you get that?
Because he's the man. He's the boss.
I'm very good at knowing things.
What were the clues, please?
No things.
Clue
number 1.
Yeah, can you read the clues?
How'd you get that, though?
It's not that hard. Like, if you think about what he just said, like, that's DeMarcus. DeMarcus is a nice guy, and everybody always wanted him to be meaner. Like, that just sounds like something he would say.
Okay, well, the 3 clues were...
I'll keep score back here.
Thank you.
Please.
There will be no need.
I'm known for my speed and my power on the field. From a small town in Alabama, my skills were revealed.
So
that's the kind of clues.
That would have got it. Yeah.
That would have given it.
That would have got it.
All
right.
Next one. All right. I never felt comfortable playing ... Those first 2 years, I was fighting for my life out there. Then they switched me to ... where I was a lot more comfortable, and from there, my career just took off.
I remember that from a documentary we did. Did you get it from a documentary we did?
I
remember that from a documentary.
Is it Drew Pearson?
No.
Oh, hold on. Okay, let me think. Who switched positions?
I can give you a clue.
No, hold on. Give me a second. Somebody that switched positions.
That was for Nick.
Thanks, appreciate that.
Clue, yeah.
All right.
I'll read the clue out loud.
All right.
Here we go. Did you pick that one for a reason? This is some hard words. Oh, here we go. Oh, wow. Landry said his performance ranged from anywhere from spectacular to spectacular. He could outmatch anybody's intensity from game to game. Okay, this is from my era, is what this is.
Yeah.
We going like Walt Garrison? Like, how back are we going?
Oh, it's back. It's back. It's back.
I can't guess anymore.
Would that have been Randy White?
That's
Randy
right.
White.
Yeah.
Wow.
Bam.
Randy White.
From linebacker to defensive tackle.
Yep.
Said was never comfortable playing linebacker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Imagine that happening today. Like Eric Hendricks just
Linebacker
wakes
to
up
defensive
tomorrow
tackle.
and he's like, you know what, I'm being nose tackle.
Right. It's a different game,
It's a
man.
different game.
Bodies, different body types. For sure.
All right. The competition is what I love. That makes me a lot more intense. Personalities don't enter into it at all. My objective is to get the man with the ball. Nobody better get in my way.
My objective is to get the man with the ball.
Nobody get in my way.
Is that Tank?
No.
I'll take a clue.
Maybe.
I didn't run the ball or catch it for scores, but when it came to stopping, I opened the doors. That's a bar, first off.
Yeah.
Is that Moose Johnson?
Nope.
Who was the linebacker?
Is it a defensive player?
I think it's a defensive guy.
Oh,
It's
she
gotta be
said
a
open the
defensive guy.
door. I didn't run the ball or catch it for scores, but when it came to stopping, I opened the door.
I think this last one will give it away completely.
Well, hold on a second. Let me.
Okay, that I kind of thought it was like somebody.
It's somebody
blocked-
got a lot
somebody
of turnovers, I would think, because they opened the door to scoring. So are we talking about, was that Everson?
No.
Deron Bland?
He's never said that many words in his entire life.
Here, read this for Brian.
All right. From the 60s to the 70s, I dominated the game and earned the nickname that brought me great fame. Too tall?
There's another nickname.
Manster?
No, that's Randy White.
Bob Lilly?
Bob Lilly.
Oh,
okay.
Probably my favorite Cowboy of all time. Legitimately.
Mr.
He's-
Cowboy.
Yeah, he's,
Womp,
he's
womp,
the man.
womp.
Mr. Cowboy.
So is that not 3 for me?
You only got 2.
I just
Wait,
said Bob
I guess,
Lilly.
but you started throwing names, so you're like, let me just.
Guess what? That works until
I
somebody gets
appreciate
it right.
you going back to the day.
All right,
Are we counting that for Derek?
Yes, we're counting that for Derek.
sure. Let's just go through the roster.
Yes.
Throw
names.
This
Comeback
one is
starts
a
now.
small quote. Welcome to the Mile High City, and I really am.
What does he mean by that?
What? David Irving.
Is that Hollywood Henderson?
Welcome to the Mile High City.
Pac-Man Jones.
No.
Let me get a clue. Let's see.
I could guess that one.
Okay. Before I was a Cowboy, I played in the South. At SMU, I opened the playbook's mouth.
Is this Don Meredith?
Yes.
Good job, Brian.
All right.
Nice. Oh, so you made these little quotes here.
Of course you did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm all confused. I was like, man, Bob Lilly, he was
He
could have laid
he's
down
a poet.
some bars back in the
No,
day.
so the
But it's just
clues,
Ambar,
the
so it's
clues,
fine.
yes,
Okay.
but
This is Ambar.
the initial quotes are quotes that I just
Yeah,
looked up.
I never took Bob Lilly as a wordsmith.
I'm on the board. Yeah.
Brian's on the board.
Yeah, this is bad for me. History lessons are not great for me.
All right, I have
What
one
year were you
last
born?
one.
We don't 2000.
Yeah, we were losing 11 games.
5-11, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, this is the last one.
Oh,
I was small,
Too small.
but I was
Sorry, go ahead.
but I was one that was afraid. When you're scared, you can run really fast. I was small, scared, but I ran fast.
Turpin?
No.
I'm trying to think of a small player.
That was
that's-
Emmett?
No.
Let's see what we got here.
Though I'm often forgotten, my greatness still stands. They love to have me now with the ball in my hands.
So it's a running back. It's a running back. Okay. I think that tells
It's
us
like
it's a running
greatness.
back.
Walter Payton, he was sweetness.
So who's like a short running back?
Short running back.
Julius
Pollard?
wasn't that big.
Tony Pollard?
Dorset?
No.
Julius wasn't that big, right?
No.
Julius
but
Jones?
No.
He also wasn't that great. It's all right. But I don't know if you'd be saying it's greatness.
Yeah,
I mean,
it'd be better than what they have right now. It might be.
yes. No.
That statement
I
be
would
true.
take a Julius
Okay.
Jones right now, no doubt about
Okay.
it. But for that statement, I'm trying to think of the best running backs in
Here,
Cowboys
read this
history.
one.
Before the stars and glory, I was the first to show that the Cowboys had a back who could go toe to toe.
So he's a running back.
That confirms the position is
Okay,
a running
okay.
back.
You didn't help us there.
This
You did that on
one,
purpose.
this one,
Was he a fighter? Like, was he a boxer?
this one will give it away.
Can you tell us a decade he played in?
Here.
Okay. All right. Here we
It
go.
will tell you the decade right there.
Oh, okay. He was one of the best blocking fullbacks in the league, said former teammate Bob Lilly.
Robert Newhouse. A fullback that was great. That wasn't Robert Newhouse or Moose.
That's what the quote said. I didn't say
Walt
it.
Garrison?
Was it Walt Garrison?
No.
Here, I was making fun of Walt Garrison earlier, and he almost ended up being an answer.
Poor guy gets forgotten.
Yeah, he's definitely getting forgotten.
Preston Pearson.
No.
Bob Lilly. So that would be like into the 70s, but that's Robert Newhouse.
Right, Newhouse. That's why I assumed it was Newhouse, but I don't know.
Chucky Withers. I don't know. I'm just saying names.
Chucky Withers.
All right.
Sounds like a fullback.
Give us a name.
Has same name
There's a listener out
as
there
the
that's-
current president-elect.
Don. Oh, Don Perkins.
Yes.
Don Perkins.
Wow. Yes. I would have never.
Yep. There's a listener out there that is like, he's dumb.
Was Don Perkins little?
He wasn't big.
Let me see his size.
I don't think he was.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Don Perkins, PFR, 5'10", 204.
Yes. But back in the day, like that was an NFL player. Like,
yeah.
It's not like he was out of place little.
His first team all pro.
He's a Hall. He's in Ring of Honor.
Yeah, he's definitely in Ring of Honor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, I never saw him play, but
Well, I'm glad we got to speak about him today because
I think his last year was like 1968.
Yeah, that would have been before my birth. Yeah.
part of history, part of Cowboys history.
Good job of getting part of history on up front.
Yeah, I thought, you got to remember some of the
I had two.
good
That's
ones.
important. I lost by one. I went for two. Didn't get it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Good trial.
Do y'all happen to know Bryce Perkins, the quarterback that's kind of been bounced around a few times in the league the last 3 years?
Quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his great nephew.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
More you know. Anyway, I thought
There
that was
you go.
interesting. Here
Good
we
to
go.
know.
All right, well, thank you guys.
Thanks, Yeti.
Thanks, Yeti.
Thanks,
Yeti.
Amber. Thanks, Yeti. All right, we'll take our final break. We'll come back. We'll get some final thoughts here on this upcoming game. We'll talk about that when we come back. DallasCowboys.com radio.
If you can't be at the stadium, there's no better way to watch your Cowboys than on an LG OLED Evo TV. That's because everything you see is more lifelike. Every play, every hit. I mean, you might as well be on the sidelines. That's how clear it is. It's all thanks to LG's legendary technology. Perfect black, over 8.3 million self-lit pixels. No one comes close. LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game for a reason. See for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
They say champions are remembered, but legends are never forgotten. United Ag and Turf offers a winning lineup of John Deere equipment built to tackle any challenge on and off the field. Legendary John Deere tractors, combines, residential mowers, commercial mowers, compact construction equipment, Gator utility vehicles, and a full line of golf and sports turf equipment. United Ag and Turf, the official Ag and Turf equipment supplier of the Dallas Cowboys. Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com to find a location near you.
If you shout, "How about them Cowboys?" you have that undeniable passion that's the heart of Cowboys Nation. And if you like to drink Dr. Pepper, you love the unique blend of its 23 flavors. Together, your one-of-a-kind fandom paired with the one-of-a-kind taste of a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper is the game day lineup that can't be beat. Better yet, gather your Cowboys and Dr. Pepper fan friends to watch the next game and crack open a delicious ice-cold Dr. Pepper for everyone. The wins will be even tastier. It's a Pepper thing.
And we're going to overtime.
Erica, how much have I spent on concessions?
For questions about their money, Dallas Cowboys fans can turn to Erica, the virtual financial assistant in the Bank of America mobile banking app. Learn more at bankofamerica.com/Erica by your side. Bank of America, official bank of the Dallas Cowboys. Erica responses may vary. Digital tools featured require downloading the mobile banking app and may only be available on select mobile devices. Erica is a mobile feature only available in the English language. Your chat may be recorded and monitored for quality assurance. Message and data rates and additional terms may apply. Bank of America, N.A., member FDIC.
Todd thought it would be secure to jog in the cheetah savanna. Todd believed the big cat repellent he bought online was reliable. And now, Todd is trying to be faster than this cheetah that can run 80 miles per hour. But the good news is, Todd has AT&T 5G that is fast, reliable, and secure. And he learned the best thing to do is stop running and toss her the backpack with the beef stew. AT&T 5G. Fast, reliable, secure.
5G requires compatible plan and device. 5G may not be available in your area. See att.com/5G for you for details.
Back to the break.
LG OLED Evo is the best TV in the game, but don't take our word for it. You threw me off, Derek. Digital
Distractible
Trends
players.
said,
You know about that, Brian, right?
You caught
Distractible
him.
players.
No, they're not good.
Garcia.
They're not good.
Right.
Digital Trends said the LG OLED G4 has the best picture quality they've ever seen. See it for yourself at lg.com/OLED Evo.
Welcome back. Final segment of the break, live from the SWBC
They're giving
Mortgage
Austin Eckler
Studios.
the ball.
Huh?
They're
What?
giving Austin Eckler the ball.
Sorry, guys. We have just taken a fantasy football argument onto the air, and they're trying to decide. They're talking about trades here, so we're not going to get into that. We'll talk about this off the air. Let's talk about Cowboys versus Eagles. Let's start with I have some questions for you guys and about the matchup. Looking at the Philadelphia offense, what would you say is a more challenging matchup for Dallas when it comes to stopping Philadelphia's passing game? Dallas Goedert or Devontae Smith?
I think they're going to look at Smith first. But if Dallas continues to show an inability, now last week it worked out because you moved some cats
Pitts
around.
didn't do much.
Pitts did not do much. One catch, and they actually credited nearest receiver was Diggs, or nearest defender was Diggs. If you're the thing that I worry about with Goddard is he does similar things to what you see with Kittle. The act like we're blocking, kind of delay, and then run out in a route, or flex out and then cross. And I do worry about that. But Smith, the post routes, the drag routes, the crossing routes, the hitch routes, he's a problem, and he is going to be a problem. But man, I worry about that tight end too, because you really this last week you were good at it, but previous to that, it's been a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah, I would go with Smith with the receiver just because of how much you've struggled with the cornerbacks. Yeah. And I think that's another area that the Eagles can definitely try to exploit this weekend. I think with Goddard, because you have kind of more players around you defensively in that area, you could potentially get more help where you're just not leaving it up to, let's say, Carson or even Diggs on his own over there. So I think I would slightly put him above as a priority for this weekend.
You asked which one am I scared of more?
Yeah, which is a more challenging matchup for Dallas.
Matchup for Dallas. Okay. Yeah. I like the Jordan Lewis Devontae Smith matchup. I think they will both get some wins against each other, but I think Lewis can hold his own there. I think I worry maybe a little bit more about Goddard, in the sense that I need to see it a little bit more than one time against Kyle Pitts, just because that George Kittle instance was still 2 weeks ago. So and Goddard's had a couple of big games this season, so I lean Goddard.
Which is a more challenging matchup from the running game perspective, Saquon Barkley or Jalen Hurts?
Yes.
Barkley.
Barkley.
I think about Jalen Hurts only in the sense that the Cowboys have had issues with quarterbacks escaping the pocket this year. I mean, look at Brock Purdy. It made him look like Jalen Hurts in that game. And then also Jalen Hurts is playing a lot healthier this year. He's lowering his shoulder again. He's fighting for extra yardage. He's a tough guy to bring down. Yeah. Like if he was a running back, he would be a very difficult task to take on week in and week out. But Saquon Barkley has just been unreal. I think he's on a pace to be Offensive Player of the Year if he continues his pace.
Yeah, I think when you have a running back that's been so successful, you're not forced to having to rely or put your quarterback in a position where you need him to be escaping or running for his life or trying to get out of the pocket and doing all that and using his running game. I think we'll see some of that because that just adds to the game, and it's been a challenge for Cowboys defense to stop mobile quarterbacks. But with Saquon, you don't need any of that. He can handle that job and do it all himself. I think I would put him as number one, but obviously you cannot not pay attention to Hurts either.
Yeah, my biggest fear was that Barkley was going to go much like McCaffrey leaving Carolina, who's always banged up, and then he goes to San Francisco, and then now he's banged up again, but he's had some years of some good health, and now here's Barkley. He's looks like his health. Usually when the Cowboys play Barkley, he's been banged up or he gets banged up in the game, So he's the one that scares me because of just Dallas's inability to really set that edge and play really good run defense.
All right. Let's get to some picks here. What do we think is going to happen this weekend? Cowboys versus Eagles.
I've had this weird gut feeling.
You're
going
to pick the Cowboys, aren't you?
I've had this weird gut
I
feeling.
I have too.
I think the Cowboys get it done, and I have no reason to give you why. I just think they get it done. I think they rally around Cooper Rush. I think Micah Parsons coming back will be able to help them in the pass rush for some reason. And look, they could get beat by 30 on Sunday. And, but
what do we know,
hey, I'm 7-1 on the year. We can take some chances here.
Yeah.
I think the Cowboys win.
All right,
I think they do.
Brian,
seriously, Philadelphia is. You know me. Philadelphia's going to win this game. It's going to be 31 to 21. I think they're going to probably beat them by 10.
Unprofessional and totally biased opinion, but no matter what, you will never catch me. And I hope I haven't said that in the past. But I'm just not picking the Eagles. I'm not picking them, even if they are currently in a better spot than the Cowboys. I'm not picking the Eagles, and you never know. I want to see what Cooper Rush can do in this offense, and I want to see if Mike McCarthy can adjust his playbook and see what that looks like. But this week, I am definitely not picking the Eagles.
Can I give you some real hashtag analysis for my thought? And this team, they have clawed back in 2 games in the fourth quarter the last 2 weeks. If they can just play solid coming out of the half, this is a team that can still be capable of beating anybody in the league. You look at the third quarters and losses. You look at the Ravens' third quarter. You look at the 49ers' third quarter, the Falcons. Those are 3 games right there where if you just play average football, you have a chance at winning those games. You go from 3-5 potentially to a 6-2 type of outcome. Yes, you don't have your quarterback in this situation, but the Eagles haven't seen that quarterback in 2 years either. So I do feel like there's some instances if they could just come out and play well in the third quarter.
Nick Sirianni will keep you in this game.
Nick Sirianni will keep you in the game. That is always a fact.
Yep. All right, we appreciate you guys. Jonas will be back on Monday.
What about you?
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, Cowboys. I'm like Amber. Like, there's no way I will ever pick the Eagles for anything. I know. Absolutely never pick the Eagles for anything. I hate that.
Somebody on the show has to be logical.
That's fine. Go for it. I make logical points, but when it comes to picks, I ain't never picking the Eagles.
Can you clip that so when the Cowboys win on Monday, Bean, we can play it?
I'm telling you, I had the same thought
right.
you
You're
did.
100%
You said it on Wednesday.
You are.
I have this weird thing, and then all of a sudden I'm like, like
I ain't doing that.
Pat McAfee, give me Alabama.
You're using your brain. It's 100% right.
All right, appreciate you guys joining us. We'll be back on Monday. We'll tell you what went right and wrong for the Cowboys. So then for Nick Harris, Bryan Broaddus, Ambar Garcia, I'm Derek Eagleton. This has been The Break, live on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!